And after that short break, we're back in it for Game 3 of this best of 5 between Prismatic Esports and Glacial Omen here. And what a great 2 games it's been so far. Prismatic looking commanding right now in this series, winning 2-0 so far. And Glacial Omens with their backs up against the wall. This was not what I expected when we came into this series here with Glacial Omen on paper, looking so much stronger than Prismatic Esports, but the game has shown us that isn't true at all, as it has been Prismatic running them around the map here. And it's going to be Prismatic on the blue side, Glacial Omen on the red side here. No changes to either roster this game. And in terms of bans, Prismatic banning out the Irelia, Vladimir, Galio, Brom, and Leona here. So they're not going to go a 5-man ban, because we did see the mid lane for Glacial Omen being picked up in round 1. Glacial Omen banning out the Olaf, Graves, and Hecarim again in the first phase here. So all 3 bans targeted into the jungle against Matsi. And then we're seeing a Shen and a Nivea ban. That blank ban is an Nivea ban from Glacial Omen. So 1 to the top, 1 to the mid lane as well. And those have not been the lanes to really carry for Prismatic. And I guess that's why we're seeing those particular bans, very supportive bans here. And for picks for Prismatic, it's going to be the Echo, Zaya, Rakan, Garen, and Set here. So going heavily into the AD right now. They've got themselves a couple of tanky boys as well. And I like that first pick Echo here, because we did see Mickey Mouse for the win play the Echo in game 1 in the mid lane. And in fact, they're actually going to gift that one over, it looks like, to the jungler, to Matsi in the jungle. Should fit his aggressive playstyle here. And Glacial Omen doubling down on that team fight composition. It looks like their jungles are getting tankier. First, we see the sort of attack damage, attack speed Trundle in game 1. Then we see the tank Jarvan on a hybrid champion. Now we're probably going to see a tank Sejuani. So full out tank for Glacial Omen. And they've got themselves an Ashe, Cassiopeia, Morgana, and Malphite in the top lane as well. So Zero Zen going to be on a tank for the first time this series as well. And going to run into the Garen. It's a bit of a dicier matchup here. We have seen Zero Zen win the lane, but part of that might just be because of the matchup. So we'll have to see if he can do the same this time when he's on a tank against the Garen here. And Just Storming on that Garen is taking the Ignite as well. So he's looking to win the lane. He's sick of getting stomped here. And Mickey Mouse for the win, taking that teleport onto the set. So they will at least have 1 teleport to be able to match the double teleports coming out from Glacial Omen in this game. And Ishan on this Cassiopeia. We did see him on it a lot earlier in the split. Is very strong, safe scaling champion here. So they're looking for that late game, and Ishan has been able to win his solo lanes quite a bit, so if he can do so with the Cassiopeia, that will be even better for him. But this set for Mickey Mouse for the win is the last pick, so it looks like they're using it as sort of a counter pick, so we'll have to see how this mid lane matchup goes. I actually think Cassiopeia does well into set, but evidently Prismatic disagree, and we'll have to see how that one works out for them. Again, a nice peaceful start here. No level 1 invades, unfortunately. We did get to see some yesterday in the DOV Nightfall versus Glacial Inferno game, but this one looks like both teams just going to be safe and passive for now. And again, it is Prismatic up 2-0 in this series right now. So if they win this one, they win the series straight out here. So Glacial Omen going to have to try and find something, anything to stay in this one here. It's actually a little interesting that so far we've seen the Demacia division play, and in the bot lane, Dark Prince trying to go aggressive, but Willowhaven starting a level 1 Black Shield here. So very, very defensive start. It's working out well because they're able to punish Dark Prince on the walkaway. He's taking a lot of damage, and his aggression backfiring horrendously right here. The heal having to be forced out from Soul, using very, very early on right now to keep him alive. And it's a good sign for Glacial Omen right now that their bot lane, the one to punish and look very, very dominant in this level 1 trade. Now, just going to talk about the playoffs and how this is actually the last quarterfinals game here this week. And so far in the Demacia division, we did see SF80 sweep in their game 3-0 here. And in the Master Division right now, it's looking like Prismatic poised to potentially get that as well. We'll have to see if that's the case. And when you look over to Noxus, it's the opposite, with Vengeful Reapers and 7 men going the full 5 games here. Willowhaven able to land a Dark Binding into that bot side, but no real damage to follow up. Means the Lovers bot lane will be safe for now here. We see Mickey Mouse again with the very, very early roams. The question is, what's he looking for here? He's sort of just wasting some time, it looks like, in the river. Couldn't make up his mind where he wanted to go. No blue buff available. Chaotic Obsidian already picked up that one. And in the bot lane, unfortunately, it didn't look like he had a proper angle for the gank either. And going back to the mid lane, he's able to pump up some damage onto Ishan for now, but Ishan on this Cassiopeia doesn't want to interact against Mickey Mouse for now. Just wants to farm up, get a couple of levels under his belt, get some movement speed, get some items as well to really start coming online. Usually wants to see that Seraph Embrace in the second item. Matty now looking for a gank in the top lane. Gonna force the flash out of Zero Zen real early here. About to see if he comes back in the next couple of minutes, revisits that lane and tries to punish Zero Zen once more. And Zero Zen does have teleport, and he's going back to base early, picking up a refill, the corrupting pots, pardon me. It looks like that's all he's getting on this back, so that's going to be his teleport down right now. Will not be able to make a play for the dragon when it comes up in about a minute here. Now we see pings coming down into the mid lane. Chaotic Obsidian looking for a gank here. Can they find it? The knockup lands, and they kind of don't quite get the CCs applied right. Chaotic Obsidian going to take a lot of damage there. Is going to be forced out, but a good attempt from him, and that is going to be the flash from Mickey Mouse here. Matzy though, what's he going to do? He looks like he might be looking for a gank, or potentially Chaotic Obsidian, one or the other. They're looking for Ishan. The stun doesn't land, but the pullback does, and that's going to be Ishan's flash blown. Lots of flashes being blown around the map right now. It's going to be a jungler's paradise for the next 5 minutes here on the top side of the map. Not a lot of escapes available either. We see the teleport from Ishan going back to the lane as fast as he can. He does pick himself up a Tear of the Goddess. Get that started stacking here. And the sooner he can get that, the sooner he can get the Seraph's Embrace. That's one of the core items here for the Cassiopeia. Top side just storming this time, looking like he's having the better of this matchup, able to trade against Zero Zen a bit better here. We have seen Zero Zen being the one to dominate that top side so far. So it's a nice change to see Just Storming look to be the one in control. He is taking a bit of poke right now from Zero Zen though, and there's a nice freeze going on for Zero Zen just outside his turret line, so could potentially set up for ganks for Chaotic Obsidian. And this bot lane, the pick of Morgana from Willowhaven right now, looking like it's nullified a lot of the abilities from Dark Prince and So Amusing, and it looks like just a bit of a farm lane. And for a change, Twice Jonghyun looking like he's actually winning out this lane a little bit just in terms of CS, and that's all he really wants to do. Hawkshot coming across will spot Matzy out. Great Hawkshot there to keep himself safe, and things looking like it's going to be rather quiet right now as Chaotic Obsidian continuing to just look to farm up to level 6. Matzy looking like he's going to try and force a gank here. A beautiful Dark Binding from Willowhaven. And the Black Shield as well to stop the engage for now. And it's going to actually be Chaotic Obsidian turning around, looking for Matzy here. Matzy getting taken low. The stun comes out. The damage is good. That's first blood for Chaotic Obsidian on a beautiful counter gank here. They had vision the entire time. Dark Binding comes out, catches the flashless So Amusing, and they are going to be able to give that one over to Ishan, who slithers his way down to that bot lane there. And Dark Prince looking to try and get some return, but nothing available for him. There's no damage. They're not really under turret range. They did take a turret shot, but they will be safe. And now that's going to be the Drake going Glacial Omen's way as well. And this is exactly what the doctor ordered for Glacial Omen. A great early start, a first Inferno Drake for themselves, and potentially a way back into the series here. Don't want to call it just yet though, because we did see the same thing happen in game 1 where they found themselves a nice early game lead but were unable to close it out. And in game 2, despite having the better mid-game composition, they did not sort of look to find their advantages, be proactive, and look for initiates and engages here. So Prismatic certainly not out of the fight just yet. Just right now, not in the best of positions, is all in the laning phase. We do see the BF swords being purchased here by both ADCs in that bot side, but a little bit of bonus AD with that longsword for Twice Zhongyun here. And so far, when we've seen Twice Zhongyun on these sort of skilling ADCs, such as the Ashe, the Jinx here, he's not been the one to be very aggressive in lane. He's just looking to farm up and skill up. It's not like when he's on that misfortune where we've seen him very dominant in lane, looking to try and make advantages and plays here. So I don't expect to see a lot of action in this bot lane without jungle pressure, but we might see a revisit from the junglers here, because Chaotic Obsidian and Matsy both obviously looking for some ganks. Unfortunately, the flashes are coming up now for both the top laners, so top lane won't be a good place to look for. They did manage to burn the flashes earlier, but didn't follow up on that. The mid laners' flashes will be coming up shortly as well, so let's see what they opt to do here as we start seeing them hit 6, and that's the Chrono Break, as well as the Glacial Prison starting to come available here. And Willowhaven, not having enough vision in the bush, will be able to spot them out with a volley though, and might potentially see a fight coming out. Instead, it's going to be Chaotic Obsidian looking for a gank to the top lane. Unfortunately, too sharp a gank angle as he comes in from the tri-bush there means that Just Storming can just waltz right off. He's going to be perfectly safe. No real pressure at all, and nothing gained from that gank in the top lane. Now Chaotic Obsidian and Matsy gonna meet here in the jungle. Chaotic Obsidian didn't see it. He's gonna dash out, but he's taking a lot of damage here from Matsy, taken down to half health. Ishan coming over to back him up means Chaotic Obsidian will be safe for now. That's sort of been the story of the junglers this entire series thus far. Matsy able to farm up faster and more efficiently than Chaotic Obsidian. Obsidian constantly looking for ganks, but not always able to find them here. And we do see another attempt into the mid lane from Matsy, but again, the angle not great. Ishan able to get himself to safety there. Does have the Lost Chapter, so not having too many issues here with the mana. And Matsy canceling his back, wondering if he should go in on this here. Still not able to find anything. That's a lot of time wasted for Matsy in this mid lane here. He's cancelled the back once again. Ishan being a master at baiting here, making sure that Matsy not able to back out safely. He finally does go, and now Chaotic Obsidian looking for the gank. He might have gotten spotted by the minions though right there, and so unfortunately they will not be able to get anything top lane. Just Storming finding a solo kill onto Zero's in there. Not sure what's going on with the directed camera today. It's not catching a lot of these sort of solo lane kills, but that is Just Storming finally finding himself a solo kill. He has not been able to find many at all this series, but this time with the Ignite, with the lane dominant champion here, finally able to find one for himself, and hopefully this will signal that Prismatic might be able to start winning or looking for advantages through that top lane here. And for Glacial Omen, it's somewhat an expected response here. The Malphite into a Garen, pardon me, top lane there in isolation. Not surprising that Zero Zen did go down, and what they're looking for is not for the 1v1 lane advantages. They're looking for those massive team fights. And the mid game usually starts about 15 minutes. Last game though, nothing really, the turrets didn't really go down to about 20 minutes, so we didn't see them grouping up till then. And if you are the side of Glacial Omen, you don't want to be waiting for 20 minutes here before you start making plays across the map. The Feather Storm is going to land onto Twice Zhongyun. The damage is good. The charm comes across. That's going to be an easy pickup for Matsy in that bot lane. He's going to benefit from that late gank, and now they're looking for Willowhaven, but Willowhaven able to flash out. Might have overstayed the welcome a little bit though as Matsy goes diving, but Matsy wasn't able to chrono break. The Dark Binding held him in place, and that's a nice return kill for Willowhaven. A bit of a consolation prize, and they trade 2 for 1 in that bot lane, but that's going to leave Show Amusing and Dark Prince time to strip off plates on this turret. Look for a bunch of gold here. And we've seen what happens when they can find a lead. So Amusing and Dark Prince were massive and instrumental in their win last game. Chaotic Obsidian now strolling down to the bot side will get spotted out by the control ward. He's going to clear that one out and maybe look for the Drake to boot. As I was saying before, those fights start breaking out all across the map here. If you are Glacial Omen, you don't want to be sitting there for 20 minutes. You are now above level 6. All ultimates unlocked here for their team. You want to look for those big 4v5s, big 5v5s here. You have, or should technically have, the teleport advantage. Unfortunately, Zero Zen already used it, so will not be available here. But you do technically have the big fight advantage, and you actually want to be looking for that here before Prismatic continue their skilling ways, as they have the ones to seem to find advantages in lane. That being said, Chaotic able to sneak away that second Drake for themselves. It is a Mountain Drake here, so it will be very nice for the tanks of Zero Zen and Chaotic Obsidian. It is going to be once again the Ocean Soul here on the map, so for Glacial Omen, if they can get their hands on that, that will be great, especially if they're going to continue extending the laning phase here for themselves. And we can take a quick look at the items here. We're starting to see some completed items popping up. The Essence Reaver for So Amusing on their last back with all those plates they did manage to take. So it does have an advantage in that bot side. You can see Twice Jungion going for that as well. Not quite able to pick that up just yet. And for Ishan, he's already got the Archangel's staff completed top side. We might see a bit of a fight breaking out here. The Unstoppable Force and the Glacial Prison are available, but they're not going to use it. They're not going to turn around, and Matsi able to get out of a bit of a tight situation here. Now Ishan potentially getting spotted out on that roam towards the top side by that control ward here. And are they looking to find Matsi? Kind of. They are getting spotted here by the control ward. So Matsi able to go, and he gets knocked up, and the CC is so strong that he cannot find his way out here. Chaotic Obsidian with the slows, but he's in a dicey position. The Showstopper comes across. They get a double kill here onto Ishan and Chaotic. A triple? No, because it went over to Mickey Mouse instead, as Zero Zen going down as well. A 1-for-3 trade in that top lane here in favor of Prismatic, and that was the worry, that Prismatic right now riding their momentum look like they're the better mechanical team, and so you want to try and get the fight started. It looked good. They got the ultimates, they got the kill, but they could not get out in time, and unfortunately for them, that's going to be a bunch of strength going the way of Just Storming and Matsi in that top side there, as if Just Storming needed any more advantages over Zero Zen. Storming looking to get some damage down on the turrets. There are no more plates here to be had, so either he takes a turret or he doesn't get any bonus gold. Now it is Matsi trying to take that scuttle, and Dark Prince aggressively going in, knowing he can get back out. He's agile enough, and So Amusing running out, but the stun's gonna come out. They pull up the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, Dark Binding as well, and it's CC for days on Dark Prince, as there's nowhere he can go. The Herald gonna get dropped onto this bot side here. They're looking to try and get some damage onto this turret, but it's not likely they can take this one, and unfortunately for them, So Amusing has been doing a great job pushing up, so they've really had no opportunity to get turrets here, and you can see how quickly Shelly is getting taken down. Mickey Mouse now showing up as well into this bot side. What's gonna happen here? Unfortunately, Matsi going down once again without the chrono break going out. Prismatic struggling to use their chrono breaks properly, and now So Amusing having to flash away as we see the frosted shots coming down. He can't run away. He's dead here, and that's a double kill in the bot lane, as Twice Jungion able to pick up 2 kills to his name right now. Now Matsi coming in. No Showstopper available yet, but he does have the pull, and that's going to be another kill. Chaotic going down. And these fights are just so extended, so back and forth. Ishan now unfortunately walking into that will get nailed by Just Storming, who ran in from base, picked up yet another double kill for himself here. And this should be first turret potentially going the way of Prismatic Esports. Things are looking dire for Glacial Omen right now. They can't seem to catch a break. Everywhere they go, their Prismatic shows up. Every time it looks like they've got themselves a good fight, they end up overstaying, end up dying as well, and that might happen here in the top lane, as Zero Zen now getting caught out by Matsi here. He's built himself some armor and health, but no magic resist whatsoever. Unfortunately, Matsi not able to finish there, and Matsi Going to be able to drive off Zero Zen, but no kill for him. And now we've seen Echo twice here for the side of Prismatic, and it doesn't look like they're comfortable with it. We haven't seen that many good chrono breaks. In fact, we've seen a lot of deaths here for Matty and Mickey Mouse when their chrono breaks are available mid lane. It is going to be Dark Prince getting caught out here. He is fleet of foot, but unfortunately with the amount of CC, literally every person here having some sort of CC, and a lot of them being point and click CCs here, Dark Prince just cannot get out. If he gets stopped by one, all of them just lands on him here. And it has been especially Cassiopeia's miasma here that's been sort of the biggest downfall for Dark Prince, because they just sprayed out all over, and if he can't use that mobility on the Rakan, he gets shredded. And we do see now Glacial Omen looking to pick up their third Drake of the game. They might be behind in kills, but they're not going to be behind in Drakes. But it is going to be Matsy with the steal here. He picks up the first Drake for themselves. They get an Ocean, unstoppable force coming across. He's hunting, so amusing. Zero Zen manages to get a kill in the backline, and it is going to be the rest of Glacial Omen surviving for now. Are they going to back Zero Zen up? No, they're not. Zero Zen, unfortunately, that Blast Cone putting him in a really dicey position, and now Dark Prince going in. He manages to bop 3. That's a 3-man charm there, and it will see twice Jonghyun dead as well. And again, Glacial Omen just not able to find anything. They start the Drake up. They look like they've got the inside track. They look like they've got priority. And Matsy just comes in and steals it away from Chaotic Obsidian. Then the fight breaks out. They manage to find the backline. Zero Zen killing, so amusing, stopping a lot of that sustained damage. But by the end of it, it's Zero Zen and twice Jonghyun going down at 2-for-1. Though they might bounce that out. It's Dark Prince. What were you doing alone, mate? He's running away. Can he get away? Ishan slithering quickly. Will be able to do so, just barely. The Snake not able to catch up for now. So it remains a 2-for-1. And in that top side though, Just Storming also, that was effectively a 4v5 at the Dragon, because Just Storming just kept pushing the top lane. He finds himself yet another turret in the form of that top lane inner turret, and Prismatic now almost 5,000 gold up, and they get their first Drake. It's the Ocean Drake of all Drakes here, so we'll be able to continue sustaining in lane. And for Prismatic, they're the team who wants to continue laning, wants continued isolated lanes. And now they find Ishan here, so amusing, pumping out the damage. The Petrifying Gaze is available, will not be needed as the Black Shield manages to stop any further engage for now. That's the last outer turret here for Glacial Omen going down as the mid lane turret falls here, and they're down 4-0 right now in terms of turrets. Willowhaven getting caught out. He's gonna get shredded. You can't Black Shield Demacia Justice, and he's gonna get absolutely popped there. And we've seen this happen in game 2. Glacial Omen again on the back foot come the mid game. We're at 20 minutes. This should be when Glacial Omen's comp is strongest, but he can't seem to find anything at all. And instead it's Prismatic who's just playing the macro game better. Pardon me, dragging them around, preventing them from getting those grouped up team fights that Glacial Omen wants with their composition here. And if Glacial Omen don't find a way to force some fights soon, they're just gonna get outskilled, outplayed by Prismatic across the map here. And unlike game 2, it's not so amusing, and Dark Prince along with Matsy just carrying this one. Instead, we've got a performance right now by the solo laners, Just Storming 5-0-3 here with the Triforce, with the Phantom Dancer and Mickey Mouse in that mid lane as well. 4-0-3. Just punishing everybody. They're brawlers, they're tanky. They can afford to go 1v3 and buy time for the rest of their team. And now we see Chaotic Obsidian having to run away right now from Matsy. And they're just getting shoved into their base. They still have quite a lot of vision, but unfortunately, they're starting to lose control of the Baron here. And for the side of Prismatic, their vision is actually quite abysmal. You can hardly see any wards down on the map right now. So it doesn't look like they are comfortable doing up the Baron, and so Glacial Omen will be safe for the next little while. No Blade of the Ruined King right now, no percent health shred for the side of Prismatic to look for those fast Baron takes, but Willowhaven has to be careful. He's walked into the middle of the enemy team again. Thankfully the Black Shield going to stop the knockup. He's going to be able to get out safe for now. And it is right now Prismatic in the driver's seat with just shy of a 6,000 gold lead. And we'll have to see how they're looking to close this one out. Looks like they're just setting up vision, potentially looking for a catch, but the hawk shots from Twice Jonghyun doing a ton of work right now, able to continuously make sure they aren't walking into ambushes. And now just storming, hunting for Ishan in that top side. The miasma comes out, but it's going to be the flash from Ishan. The backwards petrifying gaze not going to land on anything at all, unfortunately. And that's going to be a big ultimate down for the side of Glacial Omen here. And with a bit of a stall up we've been seeing, the Drake is coming back up in about 30 seconds here. It is going to be Ocean, and I mean, Ocean generally not considered the scariest in the late game, but when you allow 4 Oceans to stack up there, they can be quite a monster. Just storming, running in, gonna trade his life over for Twice Jonghyun, just running in, instantly bursting Twice Jonghyun for 100 to 0 there. If he can do that under a turret, he can do that anywhere. Twice Jonghyun cannot afford to be alone. Now, So Amusing has to be careful. He might get caught out here along with Mickey Mouse for the win. They're under turrets. They are just trying to get this one here. And Mickey Mouse, you can see how tanky he is. Showstopper coming out, grabbing Zero Zen here. Where is the rest of Prismatic? They're actually going to do the dragon. They don't care. They're going to abandon Mickey Mouse because they know he can get away. He manages to flash safely over the wall. And that's 3 people committed into that bot side, getting nothing but a flash. And that's going to be the Ocean Drake coming down for Prismatic. Not ideal positioning from Just Storming and So Amusing, but good enough. And now it's going to be Zero Zen instead, caught up, getting knocked up for a change here. And they're going to go in. Dark Prince looking for the taunts. Can he get them? He gets the charm. Willowhaven going golden, trying to buy some time. Does manage to get out alive, and it's going to be Chaotic Obsidian instead, paying the ultimate price on that one. And again, we're seeing the same issue we saw in Game 2. Glacial Omen are just not mechanically winning these fights. They overstay, they get killed, and that's just that. They end up giving up another Drake, another kill. They looked for one in that bot site, did not find anything at all. And that's going to be just more advantages going the way of Just Storming and Mickey Mouse here. We are at the 25-minute mark, just shy of that right now, with that 6k gold lead for Prismatic. It's not been growing much more, but the issue now is that they are starting to buy some items. We see the Spirit Visage now completed for Mickey Mouse for the win here. It looks like Just Storming building a bit of tankiness as well, finally. And that's going to make it that much harder because a lot of Glacial Omen's damage, I mean, they're not completely front-loaded with the Cassiopeia and the Asher, but they do want to be able to try and burst down these carries as quickly as they can. And now Chaotic Obsidian getting spun upon here will be able to dash over the wall just barely to safety. But again, you can see the vision on this top side right now. It's all Prismatic Esports way. They've got great vision leading into that. And when you look instead at Glacial Omen, nothing. Nothing at all. They've got a control ward by the Raptor Pit, and that's it. And that means they're not going to be able to contest Baron. But Prismatic for now still not looking at that Baron buff. They're still, looks like, looking for catches, looking for turrets instead. And now the Glacial Prison coming out onto Matty. They have to pull up on this. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow finds him as well. He is going to use that Chrono Break, but it's going to just buy himself a bit of time now. Just Storming coming in the backline. They do manage to find Matty, but at what cost? Because Twice Jonghyun did as well. Dark Prince now hopping around. They will be able to find Willowhaven. That's a double kill for Just Storming. They trade 1 for 2. They'll be more than happy to do that here. And the teleport now coming in for Mickey Mouse. They're hunting Boar tonight. They want to get themselves some bacon, but they actually run right past, and Chaotic Obsidian able to slip through the net there. Survive for now, and I guess you take those when you're Glacial Omen and you're down that much right now. Now, So Amusing in that bot lane, just playing around with Zero Zen there. Zero Zen has to be careful. He's taking a lot of poke each and every time they're coming in. And So Amusing with that range advantage, just abusing Zero Zen in that bot lane, should be able to get some turret damage as well, but is playing very, very respectfully of the Unstoppable Force right now. They don't have a lot of vision in this bot side here, so Amusing a little scared that he will get collapsed on here. Now Dark Prince has joined in. They could potentially look for a bait. We'll have to see. Willowhaven trying to defend this one here. Is going to interrupt the back for now, but that is one support going up against a support and a DC. And we'll have to back out, and that means this inner turret, you can see how quickly he gets shredded down the demolish as well from Dark Prince. And that is another inner turret down. Only the mid lane inner turret still standing. Mickey Mouse just running around here. He's taken the blast cone with Chaotic Obsidian here. And it's Chaotic Obsidian who does not want to be caught alone right now with the solo laners of Prismatic. Prismatic, again, they're not closing this game out very efficiently, but they're in the lead, and they've managed to grow from that 6k to almost 8,000 gold lead here with that bot lane turret take. So they can afford to mess around a little bit. And like I said, if it goes to late, who really knows how this is going to go here? There is the Cassiopeia Ashe for the side of Glacial Omen. But then again, you've got the Lovers bot lane, which scales amazingly well into the late game. So while I do want to give it to Glacial Omen, the way they've been playing the fight still worries me. Showstopper coming out onto Ishan. They're looking for the kill. Is the Facebreaker going to be able to find him? No, it doesn't look like it. Instead, we see a fight brewing in the mid lane as Prismatic force the mid lane inner turret here, and that's going to leave So Amusing alone on this bot side. They're just so confused. Ishan just barely limping away right now. Less than 50 health, and instead, the flash coming in from Just Storming. Can he find Willowhaven? No, he can't. And instead, the Soul Shackles coming out now. Mickey Mouse now coming in as well, but Twice Jongyun's on the side, free firing. Not enough damage though, and that is the inhibitor turret going down. They can't find anything. Matsi coming in, Dark Prince as well, but where's the sustained damage? Where's So Amusing? Well, he's taking your inhibitor turret in the mid lane though. He's got his sights set on the macro play, on the map objectives here. Enchanted Crystal Arrow coming across. A great Feather Storm here from So Amusing to dodge that one out. Matsi has to be careful though. He is potentially getting caught out. Does have the Chrono Break available, but it's been a little bit 50-50 on whether he's been able to land those in time. And right now, Prismatic able to find themselves the top and, well, just the top lane inhibitor turret. They didn't quite manage to finish the mid lane one. Instead, they're going to pick themselves up the third consecutive Ocean Drake here for themselves with plenty of health. But Chaotic Obsidian doesn't want to give any more up. We see the teleport coming in here from Ishan. He's looking for the fight. It's a big 5v5. Unstoppable Force lands onto Force. So Amusing's caught up, but he's still alive. Chaotic Obsidian looking to secure the Drake. He can't find it. Matsi able to get that one again with the level lead. A beautiful 3-4 man Petrifying Gaze. Gonna stop the fight right now. That's a full stop on that one with only Chaotic Obsidian going down as he tried to get the Drake for his team. And while they only lose one, this is actually a horrific sign here for the side of Glacial Omen, because they just lost a full 5v5 team fight where Zero Zen got a 4-man knockup with the Unstoppable Force. Ishan, I believe he caught a full 3 with the stun and 1 with the slow on that Petrifying Gaze as well, and they still could not win that fight. That's really bad here for themselves. And I mean, where are they going to go from here? If they can't win a fight on open ground, they can't contest this Baron. And their base is kind of somewhat exposed right now. And for Prismatic, that's great for them. Triple Ocean Drake means they can continue sieging up here very easily, which seems to have been their go-to plan thus far. And if we do look at the items, I mean, there's some questions here. Twice Jonghyun with the IE and the Essence Reaver. I've got a question that why no Runan's Hurricane? Because in these team fights, that Runan would have amplified his damage significantly here. He would have been able to pump damage out onto multiple people here for his team. For Ishan, is the Lila's Crystal Scepter really necessary? You already have Ashe applying the slows. A Liandry probably would have worked a little bit better for trying to put out damage, and damage is what they need right now in these fights. And for Glacial Omen, again, no vision. There's really been no vision for Glacial Omen on this Baron since pretty much when it spawned for the last 10 minutes here. So they're not aware it's being done. So Amusing showing in the mid lane means they're going to think they're not aware that Baron's being done. And they're trying to stop the pressure in the mid lane. And that will allow everybody else to focus this Baron out. It is not the fastest Baron take, but it's actually not that slow with the Garen able to pump things out. Just Storming 8, 1, and 4 right now with the Phantom Dancer, with the Trinity Force, with the Dead Man Plates, and the spin to win. They get this. The Hog Shot going to come in just in time for that photo finish Baron takedown here. Now Glacial Omen once again trying to have to defend against the Baron buff. They failed to do that in Game 2. We'll have to see if they can do any better here in Game 3. Unfortunately, what on earth? They're just running in. There's no one here. There's no reception party for Prismatic. They easily take down that very low inhibitor turret here. And this is sort of the final defense that has to be mounted. The Glacial person comes across. They find Dark Prince, and Dark Prince getting shredded. He's going to flash out, but he's still alive, and that's massive. Sure, you burnt the flash, but you haven't found the kill, and they're going to go back to base with the burn buff. It's a really, really fast thing here. And bot lane, Mickey Mouse with the double baroned up siege cannons here, doing a lot of damage on to Zero Zen, as well as the turret showstopper coming across. But the redemption gonna keep Zero Zen alive for now. Instead, it's gonna be Mickey Mouse going down under the turret. Twice Jonghyun able to pick the credit up for that one. A great enchanted crystal arrow to lock him down under the turret, and they just bought themselves some time on this push. But despite that, that top lane inhibitor gonna fall. Just Storming, split pushing a little safer than Mickey Mouse here. Not no turret really to hold him off. And mid lane too, they're looking to try and get this one. Matsi punishing away here, and with the siege cannons, with the burned up siege minions, pardon me, they are pumping out damage here now. So Amusing gonna be down on that bot side, gonna look to try and take down this already extremely low inhibitor turret. You can see Glacial Omen, despite being in their base, despite having the shorter tracks here, are getting pulled around, and they are struggling to try and defend their bases. Now we see that inhibitor turret going down here. Zero Zen does have the unstoppable force already built, could potentially look for an engagement. Instead, the mid lane inhibitor falling, and they're just slowly watching their base crumble around them here. Mickey Mouse running in, but he doesn't need to. The Dark Binding comes across. The Face Breaker shield will be sufficient to negate most of the damage, and that's now all 3 inhibitors down. Baron buff still running strong for now for Prismatic. They're sieging up the Nexus turrets here. And just the siege cannons are shredding this. This is the final fight. Glacial Omen need to go now. They need to live up to their initials, and instead, they're not the ones initiating this. The damage is coming out so amusing with the feathers just shredding everybody, but Ishan's still alive, pumping out the damage here. Obsidian will go down under his own turrets. Willowhaven going golden, trying to buy time. He will drop dead as well, and the tankiness cannot be underestimated. As Twice Jonghyun and Nishan can't find anything. Dark Prince going for a tour behind the Nexus turrets will charm up both of them. That's a triple kill now for So Amusing, who ultimately will go down, but it doesn't matter. They still win the game and the series. A clean 3-0 from Prismatic Esports. A surprise upset here in the Demacia division. And 22-15 shows that this last game here, not quite as easy as game 1 and game 2. Games 1 and 2 here for Prismatic. Unfortunately for Glacial Omen, it just looked like they couldn't pull their stuff together here in the last game. We finally do see the Runan's Hurricane coming up for Twice Jonghyun in that last fight there, and you could see how much damage it did, but it just was not enough. Ishan with the death cap as well, shredding people down, but could not burn through the tanks that were just Storming and Mickey Mouse here. Not to mention Dark Prince completing the Abyssal Mask as well. Did have a bit more magic resist. Was not going down in these fights. And with that, that is the quarterfinals here completed for both gold divisions, Noxus and Demacia here. And that means we do kind of have the semi-final brackets set up as well. It will be for the Demacia division. It will be Prismatic Esports going to face off against DOV Chaos here, which might be a bit of a rough one for them. In the Demacia division, teams have been looking, there have been quite a big difference between the Tier 1 and Tier 2 teams thus far. So we'll have to see how this one works out. And I do believe they did meet before. DOV Chaos faced off against Prismatic actually never. So they haven't, oh no, back in week 2, pardon me. They did face off in week 2. And Prismatic did lose 1-2, so not a completely hopeless series for them, and that will leave War Mother's Children with playing against SFAD here as well for this coming week in the Demacia division semi-finals. So commiserations to Glacial Omen here, as they unfortunately miss out here in a reverse, well, not a reverse, but in a 3-0 sweep, pardon me, which you would not have been able to tell from the standings and from the way these two teams played against each other before. So congratulations to Prismatic as they move on. And just a very, very interesting series. Sure, it didn't go the full 5 games that we've seen coming out the Noxus division, but still a lot to take away here for DOV Chaos as they face off against Prismatic here, because games 1 and 2 were a lot about the jungle and the bot lane, but game 3 was all about the solo lanes here. Mickey Mouse and Just Storming just wrecking faces, getting tanky enough they could not get taken down. And so for DOV Chaos, like, they're gonna have a bit of a tough time trying to decide which lanes they want to ban out, which lanes they want to sort of camp here. And for Glacial Omen, they'll have to improve their mid lane because it looked like a lot of it just came down to Ishan. And when you throw enough bans at Ishan, Glacial Omen struggles to find themselves advantages elsewhere here. And also just mechanically and coordination wise, it looked a little bit rough here for Glacial Omen. So we'll have to see. I'm sure they'll be able to improve for next season. But for now, that's their playoff run cut short here in the quarterfinals. And with that, we're done all the games for this week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's been a blast, and we'll see you guys on Friday for our live stream. Games still to be determined. You can always check it. It will be up by Friday latest there as to what games we are going to be casting for the live stream. And with that, thanks for tuning in once again, and have a good rest of the week.